How do you respond to a hey text message? Or maybe you got that on an online dating platform. I'm going to talk about that coming up next. What's good, everyone? Mario here. In this video, what I want to share with you is how to respond to a hey text message, or maybe you got that message from an online dating platform. Regardless, the information is basically the same. So let's get into that. But first, let me remind you that if you're not fully satisfied with your current dating or your online dating experience, I encourage you and invite you to join one or both of my free online academies that send out free weekly videos designed to help you level up your game. So sign up is super easy, takes seconds, and you can do so by clicking the link in the description for this video. Okay, so let's get to it. You get a hey text message. Well, first of all, maybe you've also done that yourself. You might be guilty. I'll bet you are. But here's the thing. Let's understand what's actually going on with a hey text message. Little effort, right? Is that fair to say? Uh-huh. All right. Not much thought involved. Doesn't really make somebody feel special, like you're thinking about them in a unique sort of fashion, like in an online dating platform. Like you clearly didn't go through the profile and look at any of the pictures or written content for any sort of inspiration. And if you're texting somebody just, hey, there's no real inspiration. There's no value being offered in that message. Instead, it's sort of an expectation of, I gave you a hey, now you come back at me, and I'm hoping that you do so with some great conversation, and you're probably going to be interested in me. That's a hell of an assumption that we all have. That's ridiculous, all right? So you need to understand a hey is a shitty message. Not the best message, but I'll grant you, it's better than not getting any message. And it's not always a negative thing, as I'll kind of share with you. There's a couple reasons why people are sending out these hey messages, all right? The first reason that somebody is sending out a hey message is because simply they have fears, all right? They have fears about rejection or embarrassment, or even trying and giving a real concerted effort towards conversation and then being rejected. So for a lot of people, whether they know it or not, it's kind of like it's a protection mechanism of like, well, if I fail, at least I didn't try. I wasn't really trying, and so that can make them feel better about their failures. Whereas what we really need to understand is that somebody of value, whether it's yourself or others, it's worth being vulnerable and putting yourself out there to be rejected possibly, or even embarrassed. But you can't have the reward without risks. And people are afraid of risks. They have fears. All right, so that's one big reason. The other reason that somebody might be sending you a hey message is just that they don't know better. That doesn't make them a bad person. That makes them poor at communicating. That means that they have something to learn about communication, which might also be you. So as you're listening and watching this video, you're listening and hearing these things about like, oh shit, that's what's going on, or that might be how this hey message is perceived, because I'll bet you've done it or you're still doing it, but I don't want you to. All right. So I want you to understand that it can easily be somebody that just, they have interest, but they don't know how to express themselves. And there are a lot of great people out there like you and me, but maybe they just don't know how to communicate well or get the ball rolling. So a hey message should get this response. Just hey right back with an exclamation point. That's it. And you're like, okay, well, that's it? Yeah, that's it. Because guess what? How much real effort and interest and, what did they invest in their message to you? They put out one word, and that was it. It had nothing to do with anything. All right, it had nothing to do with anything current. It had nothing to do with your online dating profile. It offered no value. So why would you reciprocate to them and just like, oh, I'm doing great, blah, 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 and start a conversation? Why would you do all the work? All right. You have to have some respect for yourself too. So this is a great way for you to show interest in somebody, because you're responding, you have interest in them, and saying you can continue let's continue this. Okay. So you're not shutting things down. So a hey exclamation point, number one, shows interest and it continues the conversation. Number two, it reflects positivity with that exclamation point. It's not just leaving things up to be perceived however someone might. You're adding the exclamation point in hopes that they see it and recognize that as a sign of positivity. So they see it as a hey instead of hey. Which one would you rather receive, a hey or hey? So, like that's one way that you can get across that kind of excited, send over some positivity, even with just a hey exclamation point. The third thing that that short message accomplishes is it mirrors effort. You're looking at their effort, and it doesn't make any sense for you to give more than you're receiving. All right. Nothing wrong with giving to others, right? In life, there's nothing wrong with being a giver. However, there's something wrong with giving more than you receive or giving without being appreciated, right? We understand that those shouldn't be out of whack, in balance. So what we're doing here is hey, you're messaging me. All right. I am showing interest, I'm showing positivity, and I'm going to show just as much effort as you. And what they should do is feel a little bit more confident that you're responding, that you're showing positivity, and that you're like saying, "Hey, come on, let's have a conversation. Go for it. Next time, go with something a little bit more than hey." That's what we're accomplishing. Look, conversations don't need to go 0 to hero in one step. Understand that. So what we need to do is just allow for other people who maybe just don't have the best communication skills to get a little bit of confidence, because sometimes that's all they need to kind of open up and say, well, oh, I was thinking about you, like, have you seen this, or what do you think of what's going on, blah, 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 whatever it is that they really want to message you about, that they should just feel comfortable messaging you about that. Take a risk, and at the very least, you're making them feel a little bit more comfortable about taking a risk, being vulnerable, about opening up, about offering some more value. You're giving them a chance. I like to think of it as that message is just kind of waving people in, much like the people at the airports. Come on in this direction. It's okay. That's what you're doing when you send a hey exclamation point. I know it's not some fancy, long-winded sort of line that is the best thing ever that you're like, oh, that's so clever. But in this short word and exclamation point, you're accomplishing a lot. So that's how I want you to respond to hey messages. And also, it's how I want you to understand that you should not be sending out hey messages unless you want to have others perceive you as being these negative things, like you don't know what to say, or you're scared of being vulnerable, or you're scared to take your shot. So I want you to do better. Tell me what you think of that, and let me know how you fare with using this in your experiences in the future in the comments below. All right, so you all take care as always until the next video. Thanks for watching. If you appreciated the content from this video, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. And male or female, if you're not satisfied with your dating or online dating experience, I invite you to join one or both of our free academies. We have Get Game Group Academy and Get Game Group Online Dating Academy, both of which send out free weekly videos designed to help you up your game.